Welcome back, guys, to another episode with Review Bros. We're going to do another pre-workout today for you guys. A very unheard of and a very new one that's not got much traction as of yet. Big thank you to X-Supps for sending this out. So it's X-Supps X-Treme Ultimate Training Enhancement Formula. Their website is www.x-supps.co.uk. We're going to obviously run through the normal, the price, the taste, the effects, and give you guys a final verdict on what we think about the product. So stay tuned.
Alright, so moving on to taste. As we said, it's a new product, so they haven't really got many flavours. So this lemon sherbet that we've got here is literally the only one they're doing at the moment. So we have tried this a couple of times before, so we know how it tastes and the effects and everything. But what we're going to do is we're going to mix it again right now for you guys, so you can see the mixability and the taste and all of that side of things.
Just mention that it's a strange pre-workout in the fact that it's 3 scoops, which sounds crazy, but it's 3 scooper, which does limit the amount of servings in the tub. Yeah,
and even then 3 scoops gets you a very basic amount of ingredient levels.
Yeah, it's not like we're going to go like 800 milligrams of caffeine plus.
Yeah.
So you'll see that. So let's fork it in. Feels like you're going on forever with this. Okay, so it mixes reasonably well. You can see, I don't know if you can see in the camera, but it does. There's particles swooshing around in there, and there is a bit of froth on the top, but nothing extensive.
Looks like the Hulk's blood.
Yeah, it's very green. I don't know, you'd have thought lemon sherbet would be more like a yellowy colour.
Yeah. It looks a little bit apple soury. I still don't know what I think of it. It's kind of weak tasting. It's not really at all sour, is it?
It's a bit chemically tasting.
Yeah.
I think that's the weakness to it.
Yeah, the aftertaste is very chemically, you know.
Trying to work out what it's like. I wouldn't say lemon sherbet.
No.
Not really.
But yeah, it's probably either bang on average or very slightly above average taste. We've had some right stinkers in the past, haven't we?
It's a bit peppery.
Yeah.
Like peppery taste.
Yeah, has it got black pepper in it? Hasn't, has it?
I don't know. Can't remember.
No, it hasn't got that in it. But yeah, it definitely has a peppery aftertaste with a side order of chemicals.
Gets worse the more you drink it, I've got to be honest.
On closer assessment, it doesn't mix too great, does it?
No, you have to down the froth bit at the end to get the last bits of powder in. So what we're going to do now is we'll run you guys through the pricing and those sort of statistics, and then we'll be able to go. We're going to go do a heavy leg day today, so we'll see if this manages to get us through that really, and then come back and give you guys the truthful verdict. Okay guys, so we're going to move into the price of this product. I'll start off by saying the tub is £27.49 off that website, x-supps.co.uk. This is where we've got a bit of a weakness and potentially where a learning curve for X-Supps in the future. We're going to be basing it on 16 servings a tub for a full serving. I don't think you can even do half of the full. It just says do 3 scoops all the time. So
because 3 scoops gets you quite low stats anyway, doesn't it?
So we worked that out to be £1.71 a day, if you take it daily, which is not a great score, to be very honest with you. It's a It's a 2 out of 5 score.
So it does fall in below average on our scale.
And it's the lower end of the 2. It's getting down to in that 1.5 almost.
Yeah, very closely.
So yeah, maybe that'll be looked at by X-Supps in the future in terms of pricing. But we'll see if it warrants the effects.
Yeah. Oh, Okay, so we just got back from training legs. It was so hard.
That sounds like you're dying.
Alright.
Just keep that bit running. Right, so we've done legs.
Alright, so we're doing so well. Alright, so moving on to effects then. We've just got back from training legs on this pre-workout. Bearing in mind we used to train on like really heavily stimulated pre-workouts.
It was hard.
Yeah, we had to push through, but we made it. So just a general talk about how we felt this pre-workout. We didn't feel too much of anything, if we're honest. Like we weren't buzzing off our tits, we weren't pumped, we weren't mega focused, but we could tell we'd taken a pre-workout, obviously.
Yeah,
like, we had the basic.
I had
energy
probably
there.
less effects than you. I remember when we was driving down there, you said you had a sort of a 5-minute stint of the beta alanine.
Yeah, that's
tingles.
right. Yeah.
And we did both feel the sort of the heat coming over. You know that sort of effect. I don't know if that's beta alanine with the heat, but we did both feel that.
Yeah.
But that was pretty short lived. In fact, that probably died off even by the time we got down the gym.
Yeah, I would agree.
By the time we started moving around in the gym, then obviously you start losing the feel of the beta alanine. Whereas opposed to when you're sitting still driving or waiting for it to kick in, you start feeling it a bit more.
Yeah. So the serving size, as we said before, is 3 whole scoops. So you do get through this tub quite fast doing that. And it's not even like the 3 scoops get you crazy high levels of caffeine or beta alanine. That's probably, with the 3 scoops, I'd say it gets you half of what you'd expect from a normal pre-workout. So you got to do really 6 scoops.
Even though it doesn't
say you can.
that,
No,
but you was similar stats to some of the others we got, then yeah, you'd be doing 5 or 6 scoops.
Yeah, and the ingredients list is quite interesting on this one, which we're going to delve into now because it does have some weird things in there and things that you'd see in other pre-workouts that this doesn't have.
Yeah, so I'll start at the top. We've got per serving, very randomly, 6.9 grams of protein. Don't often see that in there, so I don't know what that's coming from. It's maybe the maltodextrin. Can't really see what else it could come from, but there's obviously something in there that fills up the gap. So anyway, the nutrients that we're looking for per serving, remember this is max serving. We've got AAKG or alpha ketoglutarate, which we find rarely in pre-workouts, I'd say.
We've only had a few pre-workouts with it so far, haven't we?
Yeah, and that's more that you really do notice that in terms of the contractions and the pump.
General blood flow.
I will say that the one that I've noticed it most heavily in is one of our older reviews.
Blood and Guts.
Yes, Blood and Guts, Dorian Yates up there. That was one of our first experiences with AAKG, or one of the first experiences where we could really relate it to that.
Taking it.
There's only 2 grams of that, so it's not a high dosage, but it's enough to feel it.
Yeah.
Which we did a bit.
Yeah. Yeah, the pumps were there, just not on a ridiculous level.
Citrulline malate, again, 2 grams, which is a very low dosage for a pre-workout. You should, for citrulline malate, I like to see absolute minimum 4 grams.
Yeah.
With a preferable 6 to 8 grams.
Yeah.
But at least it's in there, hey.
Yeah.
L-leucine, an amino acid, important for muscular development. They've got 2 grams of that in there, and a lot of people have taken that separately, so 2 grams of that's actually not a bad dosage. Beta-alanine, only 1.5 grams for the 3 scoops, so that's why we could have probably only noticed it for a little bit.
Yeah.
I'd say a nice dosage of beta-alanine would be at least 3 grams.
Yeah.
With the average being sort of 3.2.
Yeah, that's what we've found recently.
Again, like I say, for the drive down there, we did feel it.
But it was short-lived.
L-isoleucine at 1 gram, again another amino acid. A gram, you know, that'll suffice definitely. We've got some other amino acids, some L-valine, some taurine, and then we're coming to the end of the list now, really, actually, with caffeine being at just 200 milligrams, which is not the worst. You know, we have always said we're not caffeine freaks. We don't want an excessive amount of caffeine. I would say that the average and the optimal dosage for myself would be about 300 milligrams.
Yeah. And I would say 250 is the lowest we'd probably want to go if we had the choice. So 200 is a little bit lower than what we would normally be comfortable with.
But it's not immeasurable, it's not unnoticeable, it's not like such a low dosage that it's not there.
Yeah.
So that is the ingredients list, and again, just please do remember that that is for 3 scoops.
Yeah.
So you imagine if you just take 1 scoop, you know, you get next to nothing. So yeah, that's pretty much that. I will just read out quickly on the side here their product profile, which may elaborate on my points, and then we'll be able to tell you if that's the case that we fell. So, X-Treme represents a scientific breakthrough for supporting nitric oxide production during intense training sessions. Nitric oxide is a chemical found in the body that increases blood flow to muscle tissue, delivering vital nutrients you need and enhancing physical capabilities. Again, that comes from your citrulline and your AAKG. Zingy fruit flavoured drink is designed to maximise your workouts, increase pump and enable greater muscular development. Again, it actually does go on to mention about citrulline and alpha ketoglutarate assisting nitric oxide production.
Bloody hell.
So yeah, I'd agree that this pre-workout's probably not brilliant in terms of energy, but it's more focused on that pump side, and it's more focused on nutrients that will benefit you in terms of growing, which is what we want to do.
Yeah.
And now we'll move on to the final verdict for you guys. Final verdict time, which is where we're going to run through scores and just give that quick overall experience from using this product ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Starting off with the taste.
Taste, I personally said, was around average. For me, that could be a little bit below or a little bit above. It's hard to say.
I would
really
say an average of 2.5.
Yeah, I would be happy.
Because I'll be honest, I was lemon sherbet. I was quite excited to try it. And
yeah.
Maybe that's why it didn't deliver as well as what I was hoping. But 2.5 is respectable.
Only coming down, I'd say, because of the peppery taste, the fact it didn't mix in as well as you might want, and the fact it did taste a bit chemically. But apart from that, yeah, not too bad.
Definitely drinkable.
Yeah.
The price, again, we gave that a low score, 2 out of 5. Again, maybe X-Supps will look into it in the future, but £1.71 for the ingredients listed on the side at the dosages comparable to other pre-workouts. It is a poor price.
Yeah.
Especially considering in 16 days, so just over 2 weeks, you're going to need to buy this again.
And the fact that the ingredients in it don't necessarily warrant the price tag, does it? It's not like it's got a buzzing ingredients list with, you know, DNA.
No. I'll be very honest and say that I'd pay if I saw this product with the ingredients as is basically, I wouldn't really want to pay more than
15
quid,
yeah.
16 quid, maximum 17 quid.
Yeah.
Just based on the statistics and the ingredients there.
And the servings and that.
So that justifies our 2 out of 5 score on price. So moving on again to the actual effects now. Felt slightly beta-alanine kick in.
Yeah.
A little bit of heat. Pumps were reasonable. Not excessive.
Yeah, a little bit above what you just get without any pre-workout.
Energy related, not a lot at all in terms of energy.
Just a consistent low key amount of energy, like you've had a couple of coffees or something. You know, nothing that's gonna make your heart race or anything.
Can of Red Bull or something.
Yeah. So I would say for new lifters and people that are new to pre-workouts in general, it might be great to take it, minus the price, obviously.
Yeah.
But effects-wise, yeah, it would suit them well.
So I've got a number in my head. What's your number in your head, Craig?
2?
Yeah.
2, yeah. So a little bit below average. So it's hitting the levels of pump and energy, but it's hitting those levels, you know, on a low scale, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's not missing anything. It's just not doing it particularly amazingly well.
No, and potentially you know, the 3 scoops, if you used to take 4,
Yeah.
5, maybe those sort of scores would go up. But again, that's going exactly against their recommendation, so I'm not recommending that to you guys either.
And that would bring the price in even
Yeah.
a lot worse.
It'd bring
Like
out
to zero.
250 a
Yeah.
go. Okay, so so we'll start at the beginning. So we gave taste a 2.5, the price just a 2, and the effects a 2. So that equals 6.5 overall out of 15.
Yeah.
Again, I'd potentially recommend this to a new lifter.
Mm-hmm. Where money isn't an object.
Yeah. To be honest. So yeah, that's our take on X-Supps X-Treme pre-workout. They do have a list of quite a big list actually of other products. So do go check them out. We've not tried any other products, so potentially, you know, there's some great stuff there for them.
And don't get us wrong, it isn't a terrible pre-workout by any means. We've definitely had worse.
Oh yeah.
And they are a new upcoming company, so just bear with them. They're probably going to fiddle around with their ingredients and their pricing, and maybe in a year or two's time they might be someone to check out.
Definitely. Alright, so again, thank you guys for watching. Give us the thumbs up if you like it. Let us know if you've tried it before. And if you haven't subscribed, then please do. And click the bell icon to stay up to date with all our pre-workout reviews. We've got a lot more coming.
Loads.
Cheers guys.